Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video I will show you how to create an online exam project in ASP.NET Core using Razor pages with JavaScript and jQuery. And here we got the final output of the project. Notice the header tags online exam project using ASP.NET Core Razor pages with JavaScript and jQuery. Below that we have the question number and the question, and with 4 options. Right now we have 4 questions in our table. Below we have the button control submit. Now let's select the options. What is the capital of India? I'm selecting Hyderabad, which is a wrong answer. And the capital of USA is Florida, and this one I'm selecting Beijing. And the capital of Australia I'm selecting Victoria. Let's submit the results. Submit. See, here we got the results. We got the selected answer. I have selected the answer is Hyderabad, the first one. The capital of India is Hyderabad, have chosen, but the correct answer is Delhi. And the capital of USA, I have chosen Florida. See, it's a Florida I have chosen, but the correct answer is Washington. And also notice the radio button controls are disabled when a user clicks the submit button control. Let's check in our SQL Server database also. The table is online exam. The correct answers, see, the capital of USA is Washington, Delhi, Beijing and Canberra. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in ASP.NET Core to create an online exam project, just for the time saving, I have created a small table. So the table name is online exam, which contains 6 columns. The first column is the question ID, which is the auto-generated column, and the second one is a question, and the options 1, 2, 3, 4 is the user can able to select one of the option with the radio button controls. And the last column is the correct answer. We'll compare the user selected options from these 4 is right or wrong. So let's write the coding part in Visual Studio ASP.NET Core. For this video tutorial, I am creating a new ASP.NET Core web application. Go to File, New, Project, and from the project I am selecting ASP.NET Core web application. Click Next. Let's give the project name is online exam core with the Razor pages RP. Click Create. And the template I'm selecting web application, and I'm using the version ASP.NET Core 3.0. Click Create. And the project is created successfully. Let's close this default window. Open Solution Explorer. First, in this project I am adding my connection string app settings.json file. Open that one. Now between these curly braces I am adding between double quotes C capital connection strings colon, again curly braces, between double quotes I am adding the connection string name is my connection colon and double quotes. Now between these double quotes I am adding my connection string data source. To get the data source, open Server Explorer. In the Server Explorer there is a data connections folder. Right click that one, click add connection. Let's add the SQL Server name. After adding SQL Server name, then I'm selecting the database. The table I have created in this new DB database, so I'm selecting the new DB. Let's check again in the SQL Server Management Studio. The table database is a new DB. Test connection is succeeded. Okay. And here the new db.db database is added to our Server Explorer. Now we require the data source of this new DB. Right click the mouse go to properties. In the properties, notice there is a connection string which contains the data source. Copy that one and paste between these double quotes in the app settings.json file. And the final step, we need to close with comma because it's a JSON file. After adding the data source in our app settings.json file, next open Solution Explorer. We'll add a new folder called models to add our classes. So right click the project name, add new folder, and the folder name is models folder. Now in this models folder, let's add the classes. Right click the models folder, add select class. In the class I am adding online exam class. Click add, and here we got our online exam class. Now in this online exam class I am just defining the public properties. First let's add the namespace using system.component model.dataOnations. After adding the dataOnations namespace, let's add a key method property double tab which creates a property. The first property is an integer type, and the property name must be the column name of the in the tables. So in our table, the first column name is a QID. Let's copy this column name and paste here. The second one is prop double tab, which is a string variable, and the column name is question. Copy that one, paste here. Prop string, and the third column name is the options. First option 1, copy that one and paste here. Second option, third option, and 4 options. We have 4 options in our table, so this one is option 2, 3, and 4. And the last one, the column name is a correct answer, which is in this class is a property name. That's it. After adding the properties in this online exam class, next we require the second class to create the application DB context class. Open Solution Explorer in the same models folder, right click that one, add, click class, and the class name is application DB context class. Click add, and here we got our application DB context class. The purpose I have added this class, I want to inherit the DB context class. So let's inherit the DB context in this application DB context class. To inherit the class, we need to add the semicolon, colon, add DB context. The DB context class belongs to the namespace Microsoft.Entity Framework core. So let's add that namespace using Microsoft.Entity Framework. If you notice in this drop down, we don't have any Microsoft.Entity Framework core package. So first let's install the package, delete this one and also this one also, otherwise we'll get an error. Open Solution Explorer. Before adding the package, let's expand the dependencies folder. Notice in this dependencies folder we don't have any packages folder. So first let's add the necessary package for this project. Right click the project name, manage Nature Packages, select that one. Switch to browse mode and search for Microsoft.Entity Framework core. And this is the package I want to install. Select that one, click install, and the version is 3.0. Click OK. Let's accept the license. I accept, and the package is installed successfully. Let's add the other necessary packages for this project, we require the SQL Server Entity Framework.SQL Server. Click install, click OK, accept the license. And SQL Server package is installed successfully. Now we require the design, select that one, click install, click OK, accept the license. And the design also is installed successfully. Now the last package we require, which is the Microsoft.Entity Framework Code.Tools. Select that one, click install, click OK. Let's accept the license. And the tools also installed successfully. Let's check all the packages are installed successfully or not. Open Solution Explorer. Notice in the dependencies folder we got the packages folder. Let's expand the packages. See, here we got all the necessary packages we have installed just now. After adding the packages, now let's close the NudgeIt package window. Now in the application DB context class, let's import the namespace using Microsoft.Entity Framework Core, and then let's inherit the DB context class. Let's close this error list and output message. Now in this class, let's create the constructor. CTOR double tab, it will create the constructor. Now in this constructor I'm adding the DB context options. In the DB context options, the context type I'm adding application DB context class, our class name, then options colon base options. Then I'm adding a property. The property type is a DB set. In this DB set, the entities we are getting from this class, online exam class. So I'll add that one, online exam class. And here the main important, the property name. The property name must be the table name. So let's add the table name. Our table name is online exam. Copy that one and paste here. So after adding the DB context and DB set in this application DB context class, now the next open Solution Explorer, open startup.cs file. We have to add the services in this configure service method. So before adding the services, we have to add the namespaces, Microsoft.Entity Framework Core, then using our project name dot models folder. After adding these two packages, now in the public void configure service method, I'm adding the services dot add DB context. In this DB context, I'm adding my application DB context class. This is our DB context class. And then options dot use SQL server method. This use SQL server method takes the string parameter, which is a connection string. So configuration dot get connection string method. The get connection string method takes a string parameter, and the parameter name we have to add a connection string. Paste here. Now let's get the data in the Razor pages. Open Solution Explorer. In the project there is a pages folder. Expand that one. There is a index.cshtml file, which is the project default page. Open that one, and here we got our index page. Let's delete this default p tag, and also I want to change the heading, and exam project. Instead of this class, I'm deleting this class, h3 tags and h4, using ASP.NET Core. The version I'm using 3.0. Razor pages with JavaScript and jQuery. So before adding the controls, first we'll write the code in the Razor pages. Let's open page model, right click the mouse, go to page model, and here we got our page model. If you notice in this page model, which contains some default code, the private read only and one constructor of this class and then one public void onGet method. So first let's add the packages using Microsoft.Entity Framework code, then using I require the models folder also. I'm adding the models folder. Then in the private read only, I'm adding our application DB context class. DB context class ACC. It's a private read only, so I'm adding underscore here. And in the constructor, I'm adding application DB context class ACC underscore ACC is equals to ACC semicolon. Here the property type is IEnumerable. In this IEnumerable, the T type of objects we are getting from this online exam class. So let's write the online exam class, the class name, and the property name get display results. Let's call this as a display results, and the property name. And in the public void onGet, I'm adding display results is equals to await underscore ACC dot my table name is online exam, or table name dot to list async method. And here it's showing some error because it's a void onGet. So instead of void, let's delete that one, add async task. Now switch to the index.cshtml, the design page. I'm adding for each loop to display all the records from the data table at for each loop variable item in model dot. Here I'm adding the display results. Here I'm adding the display results. This display results is our property name. Display results. Then let's add the table. In the table, I'm adding the class is table. Bootstrap class I have added tr. The first one is at item dot the question ID and the question name at item dot question mark. So this one I will put in the TD. We need to put in this TD. Because it's a table data. Then again tr TD. After adding the question number and the question, then I have to add the options. For that I am adding the radio button controls. Open toolbox. In the HTML folder there is a radio button element. Let's add that one. The radio button element, I'm adding the name is equals to, class is equals to, and the value is equals to. And after that, in the TD, I'm adding at item dot. The first one is the option 1. What I'm doing, I'm adding this at item dot option 1. I'm copying this one, and the value is also same. And the class, I'm adding RB, and the name. Here the name is important. At item dot, I'm adding the question ID, which is a unique number. Let's copy this one, second, third, and fourth. We have 4 options, so this one also make this option 1 the ID of the radio button, and the second one is the option 2. The name I'm not changing, class also I'm not changing, but here the value I'm changing to option 2. Dot option 2. This one is 3, 3, and option 3. And the last one, option 4. The value is at item dot option 4, and display the value at item dot option 4. After that, the last column I want to display in a label control. Label, in the label I'm adding the name and class same, and the value I'm adding at item dot the correct answer. And below the table, let's add the button control. Button ID is equals to but1, and the type of the button, I'm adding button, value submit. I'm adding the bootstrap class for this button, button success, which is a green color, and I'm adding the label of the button control, submit. That's it. Up to now we have just finished the designing part to display the records on the browser. But before adding the online quiz application functionality using jQuery and JavaScript, first we'll check the basic output, how it looks at designing part on the browser. Browse with. I'm selecting the default browser Google Chrome, set as default, click browse. And here we got the output. Here we got the button control for all the. So let's fix this button control. Put this after the curly braces. Save the file. I'm reloading the browser. And here we got a new output after we changing the button control position. Notice the header tags. After that we have the question number and the question. Below that we have 4 options of that particular question, and the last one is the correct answer, which I have displayed in the label control. Below that I have a button control. Now my aim is, first I want to hide this correct answer column until a user clicks the submit button control, it will display. And I want to disable the radio button controls. And after that I want to display the all user selected options answers at the bottom of the button control using JavaScript and jQuery. So let's finish the rest of the code, switch to the coding part. First let's hide this label control, which is the correct answer style. display colon none, and also I want to show up the correct answer in a green color, so I'm adding the color also, color and forest green semicolon, and I'm adding the font is bold color, bold, other color, font is bold. Now after the button control, I'm adding the label control again, and this label control to display the user selected answers. Give the ID of the label, LBL user answers is a label name, label ID name. Below that, let's add the script tag. Inside the script, now between the script, I'm adding function display results. Results is a function name. Now between the curly braces, now in this function, document dot get element by ID, between double quotes, the label answer, I want to display the results in this label control, so I'm adding that label ID dot inner HTML element semicolon, then declare a variable result is equals to, and in this variable I'm finding the radio button elements, so document dot get element by tag name, the radio button tag is the input, so put this in a single quotes semicolon. I'm using for loop to count all the selected radio button elements to display in this label control. For I is equals to 0, I is less than result dot length I plus plus, if result I dot the type is equals to double equals to, the type of the element is a radio, is checked, if result array dot I check, the checked radio button values I want to display in this label element. Copy this one up to inner HTML, paste here, plus is equals to, between double quotes I am adding quotient, let's display the quotient number here, plus result I dot name, plus between double quotes comma, plus between double quotes your selected answer is plus plus result I dot value, I'm adding break. So that's it, we have written the code in JavaScript to display the selected radio button values into this label control. So let's add this function name in the button control on click event semicolon. When a user clicks the button control, it will display the selected radio button options in this label control, and I want to display this label control correct answer also. So for that I am using jQuery functionality. So to get the jQuery functionality, we require the latest jQuery CDN link. Let's open that one. Search for latest jQuery CDN Google, and I'm selecting the hosted libraries Google developers. And in the Google hosted libraries, notice at the corner there is a small panel which contains a jQuery. Select that one, and here you can find the different jQuery CDN versions. I'm using the latest version 3.4.1. Copy this one and paste here. And now in the script I'm adding $document dot ready function semicolon. Now in this ready function, when a user clicks this button control, I want to display this label correct answer column. So dollar, which is Ajax jQuery, between double quotes I'm adding the button control ID. The button control ID is but1. Copy that one, hash but1 dot click function Let's close this click function here. Dollar. I'm adding the class name RB between double quotes dot. When we are adding classes, we have to prefix with dot RB dot show. And also the other condition is, when a user click the button control, I want to disable the radio button controls. So again, dollar between double quotes dot RB dot the attributes attr disabled comma true semicolon. That's it. We have added the complete coding part. Now it's time to check the results on the browser. Let's save this file. We'll check the output. I'm reloading the browser again. And here we got the final output of the project. Notice the headed online exam project using ASP.NET Core Razor pages with JavaScript and jQuery. Below that we have the question number and the question, and with 4 options. Right now we have 4 questions in our table. Below we have the button control submit. Now let's select the options. What is the capital of India? I'm selecting Hyderabad, which is a wrong answer, and the capital of USA is Florida, and this one I'm selecting Beijing, and the capital of Australia I'm selecting Victoria. Let's submit the results. Submit. See, here we got the results. We got the selected answer. I have selected the answer is Hyderabad, the first one. The capital of India is Hyderabad, have chosen, but the correct answer is Delhi. And the capital of USA, I have chosen Florida. See, it's a Florida I have chosen, but the correct answer is Washington. And also notice the radio button controls are disabled when a user clicks the submit button control. Let's check in our SQL Server database also. The table is online exam. The correct answers, see, the capital of USA is Washington, Delhi, Beijing and Canberra. That's it.